Buenos Aires, Argentina, 1936. In the vibrant working-class neighborhood of Flores, a child is born who will one day become one of the most influential figures in the world. His name is Jorge Mario Bergoglio, but we know him today as Pope Francis. From his humble beginnings to the Vatican, Pope Francis's journey is a testament to the power of faith, humility, and social justice. Let's dive into the early years that shaped this remarkable man and uncover the roots of his extraordinary story. Jorge Mario Bergoglio entered the world on December 17, 1936, born to Italian immigrants Mario and Regina Bergoglio. His father was a hard-working railway worker, while his mother dedicated herself to raising their 5 children, Jorge being the eldest. Growing up in a tight-knit family, Jorge learned the values of modesty and perseverance early on. The Flores neighborhood was a bustling, multicultural hub in Buenos Aires. With its mix of cultures, Jorge's Italian heritage stood out as a cornerstone of his identity. He became fluent in both Italian and Spanish, soaking up the rich traditions his parents brought from Italy. Life wasn't glamorous, it was simple, grounded, and real. Picture a young Jorge running through the streets of Flores, surrounded by the sounds of a working-class community that would leave a lasting mark on his soul. Jorge wasn't just a dreamer, he was a thinker. From a young age, he showed a sharp mind and a passion for learning. He excelled in school and developed a fascination with science, eventually pursuing a master's degree in chemistry at the University of Buenos Aires. After graduating, Jorge landed a job as a technician in a food science laboratory. He was good at it, too, methodical, curious, and precise. But life had other plans. Before his scientific career could take off, a profound shift was brewing inside him. Little did he know, his days in the lab were numbered, and a higher calling was about to change everything. At just 21 years old, Jorge faced a major health scare, a serious illness that required the removal of part of one lung. It was a brush with mortality that shook him to his core. But instead of breaking him, it sparked a revelation. While recovering, Jorge felt an undeniable pull toward the priesthood, a calling he couldn't ignore. In 1958, he took a leap of faith and joined the Society of Jesus, better known as the Jesuits. This wasn't just a career change, it was a transformation. Jorge threw himself into his studies and spiritual growth, and by 1969, he was ordained as a priest. His rise didn't stop there. By 1973, he became the Jesuit provincial superior in Argentina, leading with a quiet strength that would define his future. Jorge's journey wasn't all smooth sailing. The Argentina he grew up in was a nation in flux. The 1970s brought political upheaval, with the rise of Peronism and the dark days of the Dirty War. As a priest, Jorge found himself in the thick of it, navigating a world of tension and uncertainty. Through it all, he kept his focus on the people who needed him most, the poor and the marginalized. These experiences forged his unwavering commitment to social justice, a principle that would guide him for decades to come. Jorge didn't just preach compassion. He lived it, even when the world around him was falling apart. Who was Jorge Mario Bergoglio, really? Beneath the titles and the robes, he was a man of remarkable simplicity. Even as he climbed the ranks of the church, he rejected luxury, opting for modest accommodations and riding public transportation like an everyday citizen. Jorge had a softer side, too. He was an avid reader with a deep love for literature. Think classic novels and philosophical texts. And if you want to get him talking, just mention football. A lifelong fan of the San Lorenzo de Almagro team, he's never been too holy to cheer for his club. But above all, his heart belonged to the poor. Time and again, he showed up for those society overlooked, proving his humility wasn't just talk, it was action. From his childhood in Buenos Aires to his election as Pope Francis in 2013, Jorge Mario Bergoglio's life is a story of faith, resilience, and unshakable dedication. The streets of Flores, the chemistry lab, the Jesuit seminary, they all shaped a man who'd one day lead the Catholic Church with a revolutionary spirit. As we trace his path, we see more than a pope. We see a kid from a working-class neighborhood who never forgot his roots, a leader whose humility and love for others continue to inspire millions. Pope Francis's story isn't just about where he ended up, it's about where he began, and how that beginning still echoes in everything he does today.